The bullet was shot at the house and ended up going straight through. Inside, a woman and her fiancé froze as the stray bullet headed straight for her. But in between them, her trusty tumbler filled with ice water was sitting squarely on the table. And instead of hitting her, the bullet struck the cup. It sparked against the metal before tumbling harmlessly to the ground, saving her life. Have you ever wondered how rattlesnakes make that rattling sound? Well, some people think that it works like a rattle with little beads inside, but that's actually not the case. You see, the tail of a rattlesnake has a series of hollow, interlocking segments made of the same material as your fingernails, but the inside of the tail is completely hollow. When they're threatened, they vibrate the tail, and the hollow segments knock against each other at a super fast speed, which makes them rattle. Against each other at a super fast speed, which makes them rattle. When you get punched in the mouth, the fist pushes your tooth against your jawbone and gums. This can make the tiny fibers that hold your tooth in place start to stretch. If they're stretched too far, these fibers can snap, which makes the tooth loose. At the same time, the force also pulls the entire root from the jawbone, and the tooth can be completely knocked out of your gums. A clown was seen climbing over a cemetery wall late at night. It then turned around and slowly waved before running into the woods. Soon, more clowns were seen lurking on street corners, often holding balloons or even weapons. These clown sightings spread across the world, causing people to panic as police issued warnings. Eventually, stores began to recall clown costumes, and even Ronald McDonald had to keep a low profile. Some sightings turned out to be publicity stunts, while others were just cruel pranks. And even though they eventually faded, for some people, the sight of a clown still sparks fear.
The trap is made up of 3 sticks to balance a heavy weight, like a rock, above the ground. But once the bait stick is moved, the structure collapses and the weight drops quickly. This sudden force is enough to trap or kill the prey instantly. It's a simple yet deadly design, using gravity and the animal's own movements to set off the trap. If you're stuck in an elevator, most people would try to pry the doors open, but this can be dangerous since the elevator might start moving again as you're exiting. And if you try to crawl out of the ceiling hatch, you might get caught in the machinery and fall down the shaft. Instead, just press the emergency button and watch Zach D films while you wait to be rescued. When a car crashes, the onboard sensors immediately trigger an electrical charge inside the airbag inflator. That electrical charge sparks a chemical reaction inside the inflator, producing a mass of nitrogen gas which fills and deploys the airbags. The bags fill at up to 200 miles per hour, cushioning the blow and protecting your body and head from striking any part of the car's interior. When you lock your knees, your leg muscles stop pushing blood back up toward your heart. This causes it to pool in your lower body, making it harder for your heart to pump enough blood to your brain. As blood flow to your brain decreases, your blood pressure drops, which can make you feel dizzy. Without enough oxygen from the blood, your brain struggles to stay alert, and your body reacts by causing you to pass out.
If you poop out a turd in the pool, you could just fish it out and add a little more chlorine to the water. But if you have diarrhea, the runny mess will spread rapidly. And it also contains germs, which can survive for days, even in chlorinated water. You'd need a huge amount of chlorine to kill them all, so better just use the toilet instead. The warrior chopped off his enemy's head as a trophy after winning the battle. He tied it to his horse and started to ride home. But as the horse galloped, one of the dead man's teeth scraped the warrior's leg. Now, it was just a small scratch, but it soon became infected. Bacteria from the wound spread through his blood, shutting down his organs within days. And while the warrior had killed his enemy, in the end, the dead man claimed the final victory. As a fish sucks in water, it flows toward the thin, feathery structures. The gills are covered in tiny blood vessels, which pull oxygen out of the water as it passes through. Now, this oxygen then gets absorbed into the fish's blood. At the same time, the fish releases carbon dioxide and pushes the remaining water out through the slits in its gills. But if a fish is taken out of water, its gills dry out and collapse, making it impossible to breathe.